Good morning, room 5. Today is actually Monday, and on McGee Monday, as you know, we usually would learn a new sound or spelling pattern and then read the book from our Small Wonders book or the story. So today we're actually learning a sound that you guys already know. We've talked about it a lot. We talked about it in the Alphabet Kingdom, how those vowel buddies would always want to get together, and sometimes when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. Sometimes you have Sneaky E, who jumps on the end of the word and scares the vowel. But then we talked about the pair of vowels that whenever they get together, they would pinch each other, and so they say ow. And those vowels are O and U, and then O and W. And W is not actually a vowel, but it makes the exact same sound. So here's the sound card for it. And you can see a really good example of a word that uses that ow sound is cow. So in your red book, which I know you don't have because they're at school, our page today would have looked like this. So I'm just going to go over just like we would do in class on our whiteboards, and I'm going to practice writing a few of these words so you can see where that ow sound falls. And then at home, if you want to do the same thing, you can write them out and you can circle your OW or your OU. So if you want to pause me and go get a piece of paper so you can do this with me, go for it. If not, you can do it at another time. But we definitely want to make sure we know this before second grade. So I'm just going to give you a few on here because I don't want you sitting here watching this poor YouTube video for forever, because we also have to read the story. But the first word they gave us was loud, and loud actually has OU. Okay. Loud. So you can see there's the three sounds. L, ow, d. Okay. Now, the next one is now. Ow. And you can see in the word now, it actually only has two sounds. It has ow. There it is. The next one they give us is ground. And this one's going to go over here in OU. So it's grr. There's that blend at the beginning. Grr. Ow. And then there's actually another blend at the end. Ground. So let's count the sounds in this word because it's a lot longer. It's grr. Remember, blends still have two sounds, even though they're sort of mashed together. Grr, ow, and. So ground has 5 sounds in it. And then our next one for this column is the word brown. So let's see, because here's burr, which is another blend. Ow. Burr. Ow. Now, is there a trick to knowing if when you are doing your brave spelling and you're writing, if it's an OU or an OW? No, there's no trick. So when you are doing your sounded out spelling and you're writing and you come to the ow sound and you think to yourself, oh man, I don't know, it could be OU or it could be OW. That's a good time to ask a grown-up or ask your teacher, because there's no way as a 6 or 7-year-old that you would know if it's OU or if it's OW. So that would be a good time to raise your hand or ask mom and dad or ask your teacher, whoever you're around, and say, ooh, I came to the ow sound. Is it spelled OU or is it spelled W? Or if you forget which combination it is, you can just say, what makes the ow sound again? So we're going to do one more in each column. Ooh, we're going to do one with an ending over here on OU. This is the word shout, shouted. So the actual word is shout. So let's write shout first. Here's shout. Oh, that's shall. There's shout. And then remember at the end, it's ed, shouted, right? And so let's look at shouted and how many different sounds it has. It has sh, which is one sound. Ow, which is another sound. Shout. And then ed is actually the two sounds. And I don't remember what we did for endings. Did we box them? I think we boxed them in the classroom when we were writing them. So we would just go like this, right? And actually, we always underline our blends, right? And then we circle our buddies. I'm not going to circle the OUs and the OWs because I did them in red today because they're the ones we're working on. So even though this word looks really long, a lot of us were practicing covering up the ending, and then it doesn't look so long anymore. Then it's only 3 sounds. Sh, out, ed at the end. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do another one with an ending, and it has a blend. It's really exciting. It's growling. So let's look at it. We have grr. There's my blend. Ow. Oh. And then my ending. I-N-G. So let's look at this one. It's grr. Ow. Oh. And then ing actually kind of just makes one sound. It's our ending again. So grr would be underlined. It's a blend. And then our ending would be boxed. And again, if you were reading the word growling and it looked way too big for you, you cover up that ending and you sound out growl, and then you add your ending on. So these are just a few today. I went to the classroom and picked this stuff up so I could sort of keep it similar to you, to what we were doing in the classroom, but you know how to do this. So each week you should be practicing with those words so that they get locked into that brain before 2nd grade. This week's story is called Now What's That Sound? And you can see the word sound has that OU in it. There's a lot of sound words in this book, and sound words are actually called onomatopoeia, which is the strangest word, but it's kind of fun to say. So say it, onomatopoeia. And so there's lots of onomatopoeia in this story, and those are sound words, which add details to our stories. So here we go. Tap, 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 rat-a-tat-tat. What's that sound? Asked Gilbert. It started early this morning. I thought it might stop, but it hasn't. Let's check out the garage, said Marta. I think Dad is making the sound. Tap, 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 rat-a-tat-tat. Zing, zing, zing. Dad was in the garage cutting a board with his saw. Zing, zing, zing. This is not the sound, said Gilbert. This sound is smoother. Let's find Gramps, said Marta. He might be making the sound. They quickly ran to the back of the house to find Gramps. Gramps was sweeping the deck with a broom. Swish, swish, swish. No, this is not the sound, said Gilbert. This sound is much softer. Let's find Anna instead, said Marta. Maybe she's making the sound. They found Anna in the driveway. Anna was bouncing a ball. Bam, bam, bam. No, this is not the sound, said Gilbert. This sound is slower. Oh, this is hopeless, sighed Marta. Bam, zing, swish. Tap, 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 rat-a-tat-tat. There it is again, said Gilbert. He looked up at the tallest tree. Suddenly he shouted, "Oh, wow, it's a bird!" "Look at the color on its head," cried Marta. "It's red, like a red crown." The bird scrambled up and down the tree. Tap, 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 rat-a-tat-tat. "It's a woodpecker pecking for bugs," said Gilbert. "Yes," said Marta, "and nothing else sounds like it. Tap, 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 rat-a-tat-tat." So this week, in your reading book, it's all about sounds. And one of the things I've noticed lately, especially with us having to be shelter in place, is when I go out into my backyard or my front yard at different times of the day, it's really quiet. There aren't as many airplanes and cars. And so you can really hear the sounds of all the different kinds of birds, and you can really hear what's going on in your neighborhood. So I encourage you, after you read this book, to find some time to just go and sit and be as quiet as you can, only for like a minute or two, and hear all the different sounds. It's interesting. You'll hear a lawnmower, or you'll hear a certain kind of bird or a different kind of bird. And those are things that I don't think I really noticed before we were in this situation, and I was spending so much time in the quiet. So it's kind of neat. Now, I read this to you. Hopefully you could get in on Clever, though, to McGraw Hill. It looks like this on your Clever account. And there's lots of games, and there's lots of things that go along with this story. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm trying to make this a little bit normal for you here. But I miss you, and I love you, and there's no place like home.